My name is David, and I've always believed in family blood, loyalty, and trust. I spent over 40 years building a life for my loved ones, pouring my heart and soul into my work and my family. But sometimes, no matter how much you give, life shows you just how fragile trust can be. It all started on a Friday afternoon. I had just returned from a business trip out of state. My son Jason had promised me a quiet weekend together. I imagined us catching up over lunch, maybe fixing a shelf in the garage, just like old times. I hadn't seen him in weeks, and I missed him. As I pulled into his driveway, I noticed something odd. The car wasn't there. That wasn't unusual. Jason worked long hours, but the lights were off, and the house seemed empty. I parked, hoping he was just out for a quick errand. I decided to go inside anyway. After all, I had a key. I'd given it to him years ago. The moment I stepped into the hallway, I heard a voice shout from the living room, "Stay back." I froze. It was coming from Jason's neighbor, a man named Eric. He was standing there with his hands raised, panic written across his face. "What are you doing in here?" he demanded. I blinked. I live here. I'm Jason's father. I came to visit." Eric's face tightened. "You can't just walk in. Jason isn't here?" And I was just what? I asked, my voice calm but firm. "You've been in my son's house?" Eric hesitated. I can explain." I followed him cautiously into the living room. That's when I noticed the signs papers scattered on the table, empty boxes and a laptop logged into Jason's personal accounts. My stomach sank. Something wasn't right. "Eric," I said slowly, "what is going on?" He swallowed hard. "Look, David, it's complicated. Jason isn't home because he doesn't want you here right now. And he's been hiding something from you." I froze. Hiding something? My own son? I thought back to our last conversation, the subtle tension I'd felt over the phone, the way he had brushed off my questions. "Tell me," I said, trying to keep my anger in check. Eric hesitated again, then sighed. "Jason, he's in debt. A lot of it. And he's been hiding it from you and from the rest of the family. He didn't want anyone to know." I felt my chest tighten. My son, always careful with his finances, had gotten himself into serious trouble, and he hadn't told me. My mind raced. How had I not noticed the signs? The late-night calls, the sudden overtime, the tension in his voice. It all made sense now. "What kind of debt?" I asked, my voice steady despite the shock. "Business loans. Credit cards." "He's in over his head and he didn't know who to turn to," Eric said. "He asked me to help cover some things temporarily, and I agreed. But he didn't want you involved yet." I ran a hand through my hair, trying to process everything. My son had been struggling in silence, and I had been completely unaware. But there was something else gnawing at me, the fact that he had let a neighbor take control of his house, even temporarily, without telling me. "I need to see him," I said firmly. "No." Eric shook his head. "David, you can't. He doesn't want you here. He's stressed, he's scared. He doesn't want a confrontation." I took a deep breath. "I'm his father. I don't need to confront him. I need to help him." "You can step aside, Eric. I need to talk to my son." Eric hesitated, then nodded reluctantly, moving aside. I took the stairs 2 at a time, heart pounding, and reached Jason's bedroom. I knocked softly at first, then louder when there was no answer. "Jason, it's me, Dad." I called. The door opened slightly, and there he was, pale, eyes wide, clutching a stack of bills. "Dad, I didn't want you to see this," he whispered. I stepped inside slowly. "I understand why you didn't, son. But hiding things doesn't help. We can figure this out together." He looked at me, shame and fear mixing in his expression. I thought I could fix it on my own. I didn't want to disappoint you." I knelt beside him. "Jason, you could never disappoint me. But keeping secrets like this, that's dangerous. We need a plan, and we need to be honest with each other and with everyone else involved." Over the next few hours, we went through every document, every bill, every statement. It was overwhelming, but we tackled it methodically. I contacted his creditors, negotiated extensions, and even reached out to a financial advisor friend of mine. Slowly, the weight on his shoulders started to lift, but there was one more thing. I couldn't ignore the fact that he had allowed a neighbor to take control of his home without telling me. "Jason," I said gently, "I understand why you were scared. But letting Eric or anyone else manage your home while keeping me in the dark, that's not safe. We need boundaries, son. You need to trust your family, especially me." He nodded, tears forming in his eyes. "I know, Dad, I messed up. I panicked." I pulled him into a hug. "It's okay. We're fixing this now. And from now on, no more secrets. We handle things together." Jason smiled weakly. "Thanks, Dad. I don't know what I'd do without you." We spent the rest of the weekend cleaning up the mess, reorganizing the house, and creating a budget plan. It wasn't perfect, and it wouldn't fix everything overnight, but it was a start. And more importantly, it reminded both of us of the importance of trust, honesty, and family. Looking back, I realized that the moment Eric yelled at me wasn't just about a neighbor protecting his boundaries, it was a wake-up call. It forced me to act, to step in, and to reconnect with my son in a way that honesty and love demanded. Sometimes, the people we care about most try to protect us from the truth. Sometimes, fear keeps them from asking for help. But no matter the obstacles, family isn't about avoiding confrontation, it's about standing together. Even when the world seems against you, that day, my son and I faced the consequences of his mistakes and we emerged stronger. The house was still ours, our bond was renewed, and the lesson was clear. No secret is bigger than family, and no challenge is insurmountable when you face it together.